Welcome, Player Profiler News PrimeTime. I'm your host, Jake. You could follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you call it, at Louis Lewis 5. That's LEWYLEWIS and the number 5. It's also right there on the screen for you. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. Remember, check us all out throughout the week. We have new episodes of Player Profiler News PrimeTime every day, pretty much. We have a lot going on here at Player Profiler, so be sure to follow our Twitter as well. But on today's show, I will be covering news around the league and my top 3 favorite rookies landing spots and my bottom 3 worst landing spots that I believe. Without further ado, let's get fantasy. All right, just a few of them. Quinn Ewers believes his game will translate better in the NFL than it did in the pros. The hardest part for that to see happening in my eyes is he cannot throw a deep ball, and we've seen that multiple times. Isaiah Bond has wheels, and also first round Matthew Golden ran a 4.29 at the combine. He's got wheels as well, but I don't see Ewers having a strong arm, but he could, hit the accurate passes. He can do the little check downs, the short intermediate routes. I think it's a great landing spot where he did with Miami. There's reports today that teams had him for 3rd, 4th round, but they just were afraid to draft him because his name is so big and carries a lot of relevance. And to be sitting there holding the clipboard, it's just what the agent was saying, is a crock of chicken. You could fill in the blank. But I love the landing spot, especially if Tua goes down, and we've seen multiple years in a row that Tua, with his head injuries, other issues. Plus, if this team's down, they might, or if they have a crap record, they might even just say, let's see what Quinn Ewers has. Why not? If we could get a quarterback on his rookie deal, Quinn Ewers was a 7th round draft pick, not going to have big money relevance. I mean, just ask Brock Purdy. But if his game can, translate, it's a hell of a steal for the Dolphins. I am scared to say that I don't see it, but prove me wrong, Quinn. Next, Tank Dell is reportedly pretty much missing all of 2025 season, so be sure to not draft him in redraft leagues. If you have, him for Dynasty, I would be pivoting or thinking of other players because he's pretty much not going to be available. I also think Christian Watson for the Green Bay Packers is going to miss all of 2025. I hear the earliest would be week 8. I just don't see it. With the torn ACL and both of these players, torn ACL late in the year last season, it's just so hard for, these guys because wide receivers are in and out of breaks, cuts. Both of them are fast, so they rely on their knees and the acceleration pushing off of them. And if you're cutting, it's just so much weight and force going on those knees. I just don't see either one playing. Also news, big season incoming for Kyle Pittz. OC Zach Robinson believes that Kyle Pittz will shine in his offense for this year. Being the second season, he's learning the playbook. He's thinking that he's going to have a great year. I mean, he's only, 24, 25 years old? False hope. I mean, this guy was drafted before Jamar Chase. Yes, the great one, the Triple Crown winner. I hope Kyle Pittz pans out. I mean, personally, I have him in dynasty leagues, but he's already proved us wrong multiple times. I thought last year was the year that he was going to blow up because you finally get a quarterback. I thought Kirk Cousins was going to be great for him. Unfortunately, we seen what happened in Atlanta, and it was not a great season again for Kyle Pittz. Yes, it was a new OC, new everything, and he did not shine. He was more out there running routes and not even getting targeted. Now with Michael Penix, I hope Kyle Pittz was out this offseason hanging out with Michael Penix. Hey, let's grab a bite to eat. Let's grab, breakfast, right? Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford style. Tell me what you want me to do, what you want to see from me to make sure I get that bag of money after this year. Next, Justin Tucker released from Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we all seen this coming with all of his, I guess, issues going on. We won't have to get into much of that. If you don't know, just look on Twitter. I'm sure you'll find out. I mean, pretty much Deshaun Watson 2.0, I guess you'd say. They also drafted a rookie in the 6th round. So if you're in kicker leagues, pay attention to this because there's a new person or new man in town, and it's not Justin Tucker for Baltimore Ravens anymore. Last, I'm going to talk about, a couple of things actually. Elijah Moore signs with the Buffalo Bills. He came out saying he's finally playing with the best quarterback in his career, and he's not wrong. Like, he first signed he got drafted by the Jets. What did they have? Nobody. And now was with the Browns for a few seasons. And again, who's their best player quarterback? Nobody. So him signing with the Bills, with Josh Allen, huge deal for Elijah Moore. I just feel like there's so many. It's like a crowded wide receiver room. You got him, you got Keon Coleman, you got Khalil Shakir, Coleman, Moore. I think they drafted a couple of players as well. It's just a very congested wide receiver room. Hopefully he gets out there and plays because he showed with Cleveland that he can put up decent numbers. And last but not least, announced, I believe yesterday, 2027 NFL Draft is going to Washington, D.C. for the Commanders to host it. I would love to go for this. Matt Kelly, if you're listening, let me know. Anyways, it's supposed to be, there's previews of it. Look it up on Twitter, X, whatever. There's some showings of where it'd be held, and it just looks fabulous. It looks amazing. It'd be a great experience in general. Again, I went to the NFL draft in Green Bay since I lived in Wisconsin. And if you guys get an opportunity to go to any of these, Pittsburgh's next year. If you're in the Pittsburgh area or a few hours, go to it. Trust me, you will have a blast. We went day 3, my daughter and I, and she's 13. Like, what girl, 13-year-old want to hang out with her dad? She enjoyed it. She loved it. She didn't beat me in the 40-yard dash. No videos of that, coming out, but I just know I still beat her. But But yeah, just go ahead and get to the draft. I truly believe it's a blast for any fantasy or even football fan in general. Before I get my top 3 landing spots, let's hear a word from the Podfather.
If you play in Dynasty, you need Dynasty Deluxe, our premium package for Dynasty Leaguers. We rank over 300 players, updated every week, all year long. And there's a win now mode and a rebuild mode with superflex and tight end premium controls. And a Dynasty League sync where you can say, sync down all of my sleeper teams, all my FFPC teams, and then you can browse around your leagues for who has needs, and then you can use our trade finder to see what kinds of trades are happening in leagues that are similar to the one I want to do. Then you can analyze trades using our trade analyzer, which balances the lifetime value, which includes pick values out to like 2028. All of that plus the rookie guide, $25 value is included. So if you're just in one Dynasty League, Dynasty Deluxe is well worth it. And use your host's promo code, and you can bump up to All In and get $25 off.
Yeah, bump up to All In, like the Podfather said. Dynasty Deluxe, DFS Dominaire, world famous draft kit, data analysis, and player rankings. Use my promo code Lewis, and you get $25 off. So with the draft all done now and we let the dust settle, let's get into one of my favorite landing spots. I mean, last week's episode, we did a mock draft, Billy and I. This week, I want to talk about my top 3 favorite landing spots and my worst 3 landing spots. So with that, number 1, in any of these orders, I'm just putting them out there. It has to be RJ Harvey. When you get drafted by Sean Payton in the 2nd round and they need a running back, what better way to go than the Broncos? Like, should be in 1st round rookie mock drafts or rookie drafts in general, if not 201. Hell, they probably could have got him in the 3rd round, 14 picks later, but instead Sean Payton wanted his guy at pick number 60, and he got RJ Harvey. He presents great college metrics, yards, touchdowns, also produces in the receiving game. I just see a lot of things being all upside. Not very much downside in this landing spot for RJ Harvey. If I am drafting, again, he's got to be a 1st rounder for me. It's one of the top spots. I mean, we've seen Caleb Johnson's got to be up there as well, but RJ Harvey has to be probably my favorite running back landing spot besides Ashton Janty, but we all knew where he was going. To me, get yourself RJ Harvey. I'll go one of my worst landing spots or player landing spots was Luther Burden III to the Bears. I understand that they got the Ben Johnson effect and offense going out there, getting at it. But for fantasy relevance and fantasy purposes only, there's too many damn mouths to feed in Chicago. Luther Burden is a great player. Yes, he's a great player, but there's only one football on the field. I don't know if you guys knew that, but only one football on the field. If he cannot manage the targets consistently through game in and game out, it's so hard. Like in Caleb Williams, we've seen him struggle last year with accuracy, and he's got Luther Burden, you got Colston, Loveland, Cole Kmet's still there. He's going to get a couple targets, obviously. You got DJ Moore. You just paid him a big contract last offseason. You got Roman Dunze that you drafted top 10 last year. I mean, that's 5 guys right there in receiving aspect. I mean, you got Zacchaeus, he came over from Washington. You got him. You got even the backfield. You got Roshan Johnson, DeAndre Swift. I mean, that's already 8 people right there that you can name. So to have him land in the spot of Chicago just scares me. I don't know what else to say. It's to me a bad landing spot. I wish he would have went somewhere else. Maybe they got some kind of thought process. I feel like they were wanting to draft either Quinshawn Junkins or Travion Henderson with one of those top second round picks. Fortunately, they didn't, so they settled for Luther Burden. Going back to my landing spot plus side favorites, Jack Bech. Jack Bech, wide receiver for the Las Vegas Raiders, Oakland Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. I just love the way this guy plays his game. He does the dirty work. He blocks for you, and especially now that you got Ashton Jainty. He's going to block his butt off for him, and he's going to be out there all the time, play after play after play, second round capital. And the only one that he's got to beat out for targets, well, obviously you got Brock Bowers, but you have Jacoby Myers and for the outside. I think Jack Bech can definitely beat him out or get more targets than Jacoby Myers this coming season. To me, he always produces looking like Puka Nacua. I know don't say that word or that name lightly, but his game resembles Puka to me. Just the dirty work, mindset. Nobody knew who Puka was until he started playing a lot more from BYU. I mean, hell, if you looked at any of your past mock draft or rookie drafts, where did you have him? 4th, 5th round, maybe, or undrafted. So, like, I feel like he can fill that guy or be that guy, like a Puka Nacua. Worst landing spots, Emeka Ibuka and Tez Johnson, I guess you'd say. Both wide receivers. I mean, we're going to mostly focus on Emeka Ibuka because he's got the draft capital. Again, he's a great player. I just wish he would have went to a different offense, different, if he went to Houston would never been selecting the 2 Iowa State guys. Emeka Ibuka would have been there. It would have been, playing with CJ Stroud, his ex-teammate, college teammate. I just have a hard time seeing him in this Buccaneers team with, again, like Luther Burden. Too many mouths to feed. I know they came out saying now this way we don't have to rush back Chris Godwin, which is true. You don't, because you got Emeka and you got Jalen McMillan that did great last year. He found a lot of success throughout the season, especially toward the end of the season, obviously, because that's when rookies come on, and that's when Chris Godwin got hurt, middle of the season. But, I mean, look at this team. You got Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin when he's healthy. Jalen McMillan. You have Emeka Ibuka. I think Trey Palmer's still there. Kate Otten, Tez Johnson, and new offensive coordinator. It's just a lot of moving parts, a lot of new faces through the organization. I know he was there, Gazer or something like that offense coordinator. But for fantasy, I think if he would have went to like Houston, his numbers would be way higher. He'd probably be on my favorite landing list. I just didn't like where he settled and fell. My last rookies I'm going to talk about, they're later round guys for you. But Aron Gadson, the second, tight end for the Chargers. Probably one of my favorite landing spots, just because, yes, I am a homer. Syracuse is one of my favorite teams watching. But if you watch this guy, he ran the fastest gauntlet drill at like 17, 18 miles an hour. Fastest one since for tight ends, I think since 2018, 2019. I mean, when he's catching them and running and going upfield at 17, 18 miles an hour, that's fast for tight end. Yes, he's not got the biggest body, but he got drafted by Jim Harbaugh, and we all know Harbaugh, if you want to play tight end, you must block. Yes, they got Tyler Conklin. I think Aron Gadson is going to outproduce Conklin this year. And also, Harbaugh came out saying they have plans for Gadson. Maybe he's going to be, lining up as a slot guy, off ball, kind of the Brock Bowers type style, off the line, in motion, everything like that. Get him the ball. I mean, in college, he had 73 catches this past year, almost 1,000 yards. But each of his seasons that he was healthy, except for the one, I think he had 7 or 8 touchdowns in each season. He could catch. He caught a lot of passes from Kyle McCord last year, and he's produced numbers. I love it, especially tight end premium. Draft him in the 4th, 5th round of your rookie drafts. My last worst, to me, Damian Martinez for the Seattle Seahawks. I am not in love with the spot. I understand it. Ken Walker is on his contract year. Yes. Next year, Zack Charbanet is on his contract year. Yes. Damian Martinez, though, I thought was going to be drafted a lot earlier than the 7th round. Unfortunately, he didn't. But to be in the backfield of these guys and having competition left and right to touch the ball, I don't see much playing time for him his rookie season at all. I'm not using my rookie pick on him personally. I understand Ken Walker gets hurt from time to time again, but to me, I have a hard time putting him and selecting him in drafts. I would much rather select Aron Gadson than Damian Martinez in rookie drafts. I just do not like the landing spot just because of target or touches, targets, whatever you want to say, competition in Seattle. And I think they drafted a guy last year as well. Can't remember off the top of my head if he's still there or not, but I mean, yes, it's a 7th round flyer for Seattle. Yeah, it makes sense. But for fantasy perspective, it's one of the worst landing spots I can see him going to, especially in the 7th round. I mean, we see in 7th round, Rashad Smith, amazing landing spot with the Kansas City Chiefs because he's going to take on that Jared McKinnon role. But like this, it's just hard to see because Charbonnet will be the ground and pound guy I can see. Let me know what you guys think, chat. I just don't like some of these landing spots. Again, my favorite landing spots, Jack Bech, wide receiver, Raiders, RJ Harvey, running back, Broncos, Aron Gadson, tight end, Chargers. I guess AFC West is my favorite landing spot this year. I mean, that's true, though. You're going to look at those games, and those guys, all 4 of those teams can score with the Chiefs. It's going to put up producing numbers. Worst landing spots for me is the Bears, Luther Burden, Ameer Ibuka, wide receiver, Buccaneers, and Damian Martinez, running back, Seahawks. Let me know what you guys think. And with that, that is a wrap of today's episode of Player Profiler News Primetime. Most of these shows are going to be only 20 to 30 minutes now. Kind of shorten them up. There's going to be more skits and everything else for my perspective at our show, like on my own show, because I have my own podcast and show. So tune into that, Fantasy Endzone. But for Player Profiler News PrimeTime, we're going to focus more news relevant and get a couple other statistics and stats for you analysts. But if you enjoyed the show, be sure to follow, like, subscribe. Also, check out all throughout the week expert analysis and fantasy tips throughout the week. Remember, follow us on Twitter and get all the latest news and updates. Plus, follow myself on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, at Louis Lewis 5. That's LEWY LEWIS and the number 5. It's right there also on the screen, right? Yeah, right there. Also, give my podcast, Fantasy Endzone, a listen as well. Greatly appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you, fantasy gamers, next week. Peace.
From the Podfather to you, I deeply appreciate you tuning in. And many ask, what can I do? What can I do to help support the hosts, the research they do, the production costs? Go to PlayerProfiler.com, Dynasty Deluxe, World Famous Draft Kit, Rankings, DFS Dominator, and of course, Data Analysis. Subscribe to any one of those, and you support all of us and take Player Profiler to the moon.